In the opening scene, we see Claire jogging, seemingly in a reflective mood, as she has flashbacks of her husband pleading with her to take him back. Then she starts having flashbacks of her son, who asks about his father, expressing disappointment when Claire confirms that he's not coming back. Claire is having a conversation with her friend Vicky. Vicky urges Claire to finalize her divorce with Garrett and move on with her life. Vicky expresses frustration that it's been 9 months since Claire separated from Garrett and implies that Claire might be having second thoughts about the divorce. Vicky criticizes Garrett for his infidelity, mentioning his affair with his secretary. At home, Claire, Garrett, and Kevin are celebrating Kevin's birthday. Claire brings out a homemade cake for Kevin. Kevin shows off a gift from Garrett, a high-performance gaming computer with an Arctic cooler that Garrett built over 3 weekends. Kevin is excited and thanks his dad. Garrett suggests they go camping for the Labor Day weekend. Kevin eagerly asks if Claire will join them, and Garrett assures her that she is welcome. Kevin proposes they go to Mammoth Lakes. Kevin heads to his room, and Garrett mentions an upcoming business trip before Labor Day. Claire asks where he's going and if his secretary is still employed. Garrett dismisses her concerns, but it's clear that Claire feels uneasy. Kevin interrupts, asking again if Claire will join them on the camping trip. Claire thinks about it, but ultimately decides not to go. Garrett and Kevin reluctantly accept her decision. Claire then goes to the bathroom and starts crying. The next morning, Claire and Kevin are getting ready to leave for Kevin's doctor's appointment when they have trouble with the garage door. Claire struggles to open it, but Noah comes to their aid. Claire asks who he is, and before Noah can reply, Mr. Sanborn, Claire's neighbor, introduces him as his nephew. Noah offers to check the problem, saying he's good at fixing things. He finds the issue with the clutch and suggests a trip to the hardware store for a replacement. Claire is hesitant at first because of their appointment, but eventually agrees to let Kevin go with Noah to get the parts. As Kevin and Noah leave, Mr. Sanborn reassures Claire that everything will be fine, mentioning that Noah's parents died the previous year, so he now looks after Noah. At the store, Kevin starts chatting with Noah and learns that Noah is nearly 20 and originally from San Bernardino. Noah explains he moved to help his great-uncle and plans to finish high school at Monroe High after missing time due to an accident. Kevin notices a girl named Allie Callahan who catches his interest, but he's too shy to approach her. Hoping to avoid an awkward situation, he asks Noah to pay for the clutch. Noah, however, encourages Kevin to go talk to her, pointing out that she's already seen him. Nervously, Kevin approaches Allie and has an awkward conversation, with Noah joining in. Meanwhile, some boys, including Jason and Forrest, start teasing Kevin, causing a commotion in the store. Allie steps in to help, and they leave the store. Claire thanks Noah for fixing the garage door and tells him about an incident involving Jason, explaining that a few years ago, he had a severe allergic reaction to a bee sting, which led to panic. She asks Noah not to mention it to Kevin, and he reassures her. Claire invites Noah and Vicky to join her and Kevin for lunch. During lunch, Vicky asks Noah about his uncle's health and how long he will be in the hospital. Noah replies that it depends on how well the transplant goes. Claire tells Noah he's welcome to come over for dinner anytime while his uncle recovers, stressing that she doesn't want him eating alone. Noah reveals he enjoys classical literature. While Kevin and Garrett go on a fishing trip, Noah gives Claire a first edition book, surprising her because of its apparent value. He reassures her that he found it at a garage sale for a good price and insists it would mean a lot if she accepted it, especially since he has been eating dinner at her house every night. After Claire accepts the gift, Noah comments on her shoes, implying they are intended to be sexy. Claire feels slightly uncomfortable, but Noah quickly apologizes, realizing he crossed a line. Claire reassures him that it's fine. Later that evening, Claire catches a glimpse of Noah changing through the window but hides when he turns around. Claire agrees to go on a double date with Vicky, her boyfriend Ethan, and his friend Benny. At dinner, it becomes clear that Benny is rude, making Claire uncomfortable with his behavior and inappropriate remarks. Claire decides to leave early. At home, while having wine, Noah calls, asking for help cooking a chicken. Claire agrees and they end up having dinner together. The atmosphere turns tense as Noah openly flirts with Claire. When she tries to leave, Noah stops her, leading to a passionate encounter where they give in to their desires. The next morning, Claire wakes up filled with regret over what happened. She tells Noah she regrets their night together, which upsets him. Overcome with anger and frustration, Noah punches a wall. Claire treats his injured hands, apologizing, but Noah asks her to leave. When Kevin and Garrett return, Kevin asks if Garrett can join them for a meal, and Claire agrees. Noah visits the house, making Claire nervous. Noah subtly talks about Claire, trying not to make it obvious. Garrett suggests Claire take some time to reconsider their divorce, and she agrees to think about it. As the new school year begins, Noah hacks into Claire's computer, creating fake evidence that she asked for him to be in her class. Claire tries to figure out how the email was sent, and Noah hints that she might have been hacked. During a shooting practice in the woods, Noah manipulates Kevin, exploiting his feelings of abandonment and anger toward his father, which fuels Kevin's resentment. At dinner, Claire compliments Kevin's computer skills, noting that he's even started writing his own software. Garrett offers to help, but Kevin abruptly declines, saying he quit programming to take up boxing. When Garrett points out that Kevin doesn't really enjoy boxing, Kevin lashes out, accusing Garrett of knowing nothing about him since he left. Upset, Kevin storms out of the room. Kevin pushes himself too hard during gym class, leading to a severe allergic reaction. As he goes into shock, Noah steps in and saves his life by using an EpiPen. Claire later receives flowers and assumes they are from Garrett. She calls to thank him, only to find out they are not from him. Suspecting Noah, she confronts him about hacking her email and turning Kevin against his father. Noah tells her he will leave her alone if she can leave him, and they come to an agreement. That night, Claire returns home with Garrett, who kisses her. However, Claire stops his advances, saying she isn't ready. Garrett, acknowledging that he's drunk, asks to sleep on the couch. Meanwhile, Noah notices Garrett's car parked outside, which triggers obsessive thoughts and memories of his past encounter with Claire. Noah's fixation on Claire deepens as he wrestles with his emotions. The next morning, after Garrett leaves, Noah confronts Claire, accusing her of playing games. His aggressive behavior shocks Claire. Kevin, who sees the confrontation, is told by Claire to avoid Noah. However, Kevin defends Noah, insisting he's just a friend, and joins him in his car. Noah violently attacks a bully to protect Kevin, leaving the bully with a fractured skull. Vicky, the school's vice principal, discovers Noah's troubled past, including being expelled from his previous school for disorderly conduct. Confronted by this revelation and Noah's aggression, Vicky has no choice but to expel him from the school. As Kevin prepares for a date with Allie at the fall fling dance, Claire checks on a leak in the boys' bathroom. To her shock, she finds a disturbing message on the wall about her and Noah's encounter. Before she can react, Noah appears and tries to sexually assault her. Claire fights him off, demanding he stay away from her and Kevin, firmly establishing her boundaries. Later that night, Claire sees Noah being intimate with Kevin's date. The following day, Noah leaves a printer running in Claire's classroom, printing pictures of them together, scattering them everywhere. Claire manages to dispose of the photos just in time, either by throwing them away or hiding them under her desk before the principal and her students walk in. The principal questions her recent behavior and asks her to get it together. Garrett arrives to pick up Kevin, letting him drive his car. During the drive, Kevin expresses his frustration about Garrett leaving them. Suddenly, Kevin realizes the brakes aren't working. They crash into some containers but manage to survive, though injured. That evening, Noah resorts to blackmail, threatening Claire with a video of their encounter from that night. Noah offers to give Claire the video if she agrees to keep sleeping with him, but Claire stands her ground and refuses to give in to his demands, resisting his attempts at manipulation and control. That night, Claire confronts Noah, demanding that he hand over the video. Upset and angry, she questions his actions and expresses her anguish over what happened in her classroom. Claire is shocked by Noah's delusions and firmly rejects any idea of a future relationship with him. Noah, on the other hand, believes the video is proof of their love and a promise of a better life together. Disgusted and overwhelmed by Noah's persistence, Claire slaps him and leaves. She confides in Vicky, showing her the pictures and breaking down in tears. Vicky reassures Claire that she won't let anything happen to her. Claire then asks Vicky to distract Noah so she can break into his house and delete the video. However, Noah sees Vicky driving Claire's car and becomes suspicious, prompting him to head back home. Vicky quickly warns Claire that Noah is on his way. When Claire enters Noah's house, she is horrified to find nude photos of herself all over the walls and on his laptop. She also finds plans for tampering with the brakes on both Garrett's and Noah's parents' cars. Claire deletes the photos and is about to leave when she runs into Mr. Sanborn. Panicking, she flees and goes home. Claire calls Vicky to tell her what she found, and after their conversation, they hang up. Suddenly, Noah appears and attacks Vicky. Ethan's detective friend uncovers the truth about the car accident that involved Noah's family. When Claire asks about the car model, she realizes it matches the one she saw on Noah's computer. This revelation makes Claire suspect that Noah might have been involved in the accident. Noah then binds and gags Vicky with duct tape and uses a recording of her voice to lure Claire to his house. When Claire arrives, she finds Vicky dead with her throat cut. Panicking, Claire runs out of the house and calls 911 for help. But before help arrives, Noah shows up and drags her out of the car. Claire accuses Noah of killing his parents, and he admits that his mother committed suicide after his father cheated on her. Noah confesses that, in revenge, he sabotaged his father's car brakes, causing a crash that killed both his father and his father's mistress. Noah takes Claire to a barn where he has Garrett and Kevin tied up. He reveals his delusional plan that killing them will allow him and Claire to start a new life together. When Claire tries to fight back, Noah overpowers her, making her helpless. He then pours gasoline around the barn and sets it on fire, endangering all their lives in his twisted quest to fulfill his desires. In a desperate fight for survival, Claire stabs Noah in the eye with Kevin's EpiPen. Enraged, Noah intensifies his attempts to harm them. Kevin intervenes, hitting Noah from behind in a final act of self-defense. Claire then pulls a lever, causing an engine to fall on Noah, killing him. With Noah dead, Claire and Kevin rush to help Garrett, who is injured but alive. Together, they escape the burning barn as the police and paramedics arrive, bringing an end to their terrifying ordeal.